In this video, I just want to jump right into a huge problem that you might face if you decide to use AI tools when cold pitching for work. The problem? Originality of AI generated content. 9.999 times out of 10, AI produces generic, repetitive content that fails to stand out. This can happen when AI is trained on large data sets of similar content or when prompts are too vague. And identifying whether AI generated content is original can be difficult, especially if you haven't worked with AI that much or when you don't really read what the AI has spit out. So, for example, people, and often it's clients, who have no real writing background and who have not invested a lot of time in reading AI outputs say that AI is amazing. They say, all you need is a prompt and AI will spit out a whole blog post. And in these cases, the client's usually pinching pennies for content or script or ad copy, emails, whatever. And it's not really an important part of their business. At least that's what they think, of course. But aside from AI spitting out very generic blog content, many sites that use mostly AI written content are getting downgraded by search engines. In fact, in recent months, a report came out that talked about how we've got a ton of AI generated content out there, massive amounts. But with that, the content quality bell curve has really shifted. That means that a vast majority of the content out there is very mediocre because AI writing has flooded the internet at unprecedented speeds and in unprecedented amounts. So just something to keep in mind. However, luckily, when it comes to cold pitching, having generic email cold pitches won't necessarily hurt you, but it might not be compelling enough to get a potential client to reply. So if you decide to dabble in AI for cold pitching, how do you spot generic content from your AI tool? Here are some guidelines. First and foremost, check to see if your pitch hits on all the basic components that it needs. Everything we talk about in our cold pitching course and within the Ambitious Writer Society realm as a whole, really. Great subject lines, good hooks, talking about your benefit, focusing on the client. These components should be included in the prompt that you give AI. While it doesn't really fall into the how to spot generic AI content category that we're talking about, your pitch must have the essentials before you can worry about how it sounds. Next, look for personalization text or inserts within the AI content. AI should tell you where to insert a compliment or a detail about the prospect's needs. If you don't see any personalization options within the text, the AI failed to craft a worthwhile pitch. You'll also need to check for repetitive language. AI will often repeat phrases, terms, or concepts to fill up content space. In most cases, you want your pitch to be as short as possible, so there should be no repeating anything. Every sentence needs to be original and deliver a unique key concept, whether that's your benefit to consumer, proof of your authority, a CTA, their pain point, any of the other things we've mentioned. Lastly, identify if the AI content lacks depth. So what I've realized is that AI has very little knowledge about the power of writers, what writers do, and how they can help businesses. So generic AI content rarely hits the nail on the head in terms of being specific and compelling about writing work. You always want your pitch to make you seem like a skilled writer who can get the point across easily and to sound powerful and compelling. AI fails to do that often, and make sure you add specificity when possible.